Hey friends, today I'm going to show you how to make an inexpensive mummy bust. You're going to want to start off with a base with a dowel that's something you can hold on to. I just put two pieces of wood together and stuck a dowel in the middle. You might even be able to use a paper towel holder. This bust here is awesome and I got it for dirt cheap at Joann's. I got some of these little round floral separators that I put a hole in the middle and just stacked them. And then this is a piece of foam. I stuck several together, although you can get a big one from Tractor Supply. And I got this foam cutter off of Amazon and just shaved it down into a trapezoid shape. Next, you're going to want to stick it all together, and I'm using Great Stuff Gaps and Crack foam. It's about $4 at Home Depot or Lowe's. Wear gloves. I can't stress this enough. Until you've had the oh so rare delight of trying to scrape this gooey molasses off your skin, you will not know how important these gloves are. Get them, get a pack from Harbor Freight. They're cheap, they're worthwhile. And I'm just putting some around the base. That is going to stick this foam to the wood nicely. Now I'm threading on my triple stack of this foam that I got at Joann's. I think it was in the floral end cake section. I think they combined it. And then each way up, I'm putting a little more of this foam that's just going to hold it both to the dowel and connect piece to piece. As I'm stacking it, I'm kind of realizing that it's like one of those little kids Fisher-Price toys to get them to understand shapes and colors. Yep, grown man playing with Fisher-Price toys. Here we go. Apparently the hole I drilled through it is a snug one. But hopefully that'll just help everything hold together nicely. I drilled a hole inside of this mummy's head. I think they called it a zombie. Gonna preload that with some gaps and cracks to hold on to the top of this dowel. And just push. Push! Oh, Lord. Okay, so this is why you pre-fit for stuff first, to make sure that you've got a big enough hole. I did not drill one big enough, and I certainly don't want to get my drill in there now that it's covered with gaps and cracks. So I am going to improvise. Here I am grabbing a sandbag to give it a little weight to see if that'll push it down and hold it together. A little bit better, maybe. There's still a seam there. Oh well, just take this. Hey, it's called gaps and cracks. It's meant for filling in gaps and cracks. It might as well fill in this one too. So just putting a little bead of that stuff in the seam between the neck and the body, knowing that this stuff will inflate, and I'll probably have to cut it away later, but that's going to give me at least a nice smooth surface. And this will all be covered up with bandages and look great. It's a new day, and we are back from outer space. All right, let's see. Well, as you can see right now, it is solid. Everything is holding together nice. That's not going anywhere. And got a little bit of a foam coming out the neck. Don't want this lovely Barbara Bush pearl necklace on him, so I'm going to start cutting that off with just a serrated blade, just a utility knife. This stuff cuts really easily. And I'm just going to go around and clean up any areas where it looks like the foam has done more than I've asked for and seeped out the seam. So that's both around the neck, both around the bottom joints. Just clean it up, and you can always sand it if you want to get it even smoother. Now it's time to make the bandages for our mummy. I am just using some old broadcloth. These may be some sheets actually. And just making sure that I tear them all because I want that nice frayed mummy edge to all of them. Rawr. All right, now it is time to get messy. So I'm taking each of these strips and dipping it into Monster Mud. Monster Mud is essentially joint compound mixed with latex paint. There are a lot of great tutorials on it, but basically you want it to about the consistency of marshmallow foam. Here you can see I am grabbing it and pulling it through the fabric, making sure that it is truly coated. And now I'm starting with a strip across the top, giving him a little bonnet. Nah, I just wanted some piece to kind of connect the head to the body. The head's got lots of great detail. I don't want to cover a lot of it up, so I'm just going to do this one strip over, and then I will lock it down with cross strips that go across the body. Just continuing to build up here now, starting at the bottom and doing some sort of more typical ones that look like it's wrapped around and around. A great thing about Monster Mud is it's sort of like clay. You really can kind of play with it with your fingers. You can smooth down areas you want to combine. You can puff up ridges that you want to show, to define new bandages. It's just a great material. Here I am with a paintbrush going back in, getting the sides, making sure they're sealed. And if there's any part that's not contouring the body the way you want to, like the neck wasn't sticking close enough, I just took a T-pin or a floral pin to hold it close, and then it's going to dry and have its own stability afterwards. Here's just a handheld so you can see how sloppy it looks. Don't worry, this is all going to be good. You're going to be good. I will sand off some of the extra around the base, and it's going to dry beautiful. Next, get yourself good black paint. This is just going to go inside, so I don't have to worry really about sealing it with dry lock. But you want this to really marry it all together. So get some good paint, apply it heavily with a cheap brush. You want to make sure you get it into every nook and cranny, because that's where the shadows lie. And so, yeah, you're going to be patting this thing down and gooping up your brush. Just get it all one color of black. Now this is a sea sponge, and this is the secret to bringing your mummy to life. I am taking some gray paint, getting it on the sponge, and then just dabbing it off. Smearing it around the sponge, but dabbing it off. I've got my work surface covered with plastic. I'm even using it to dab on there. And then just hitting it all around. You know, your first couple of daubs are going to be the strongest, so try not to concentrate on one area. Try and get it all over, and then come back and fill in as the paint starts leaving the sponge. The exciting thing about doing this, and it still wows me every time I do it, is that because it's carved, the highlights are naturally going to pick up this lighter color. And without any extra skill or painting ability, it will suddenly make this three-dimensional. It will make it stone. Yeah, there he is. Get a good look at that mug. Yes! The statue, not me. Here at the end, I am using the free paintbrushes that God gives us all, our set of fingers. And I'm just going in there, filling in any areas that feel like it could use just a little bit more of the lighter gray. A friend of mine was kind enough to 3D print out this little Mummy Dearest plaque that I hit with a little bronze acrylic. Here is the final reveal. Now, I used this sort of zombie mummy face that they had, but you could do this with a regular old wig head or whatever you have, vampires or otherwise. I gave it a little bit of a spray with some mint green spray paint to give it texture and gloss the whole thing, which gave the base a nice look. I hope it inspires you to make something, and happy Halloween!